Hey everyone, Jarrett back with you here today, and I want to talk canister filters with you. And let's see what all we got going on at my house. Stay tuned. This is our spoiled dog, Snoopy, and her freshly clean bed. You like your bed? Is it all clean? Aww, Pepper Ann. Hi, Pepper Ann. My girl. Good girl. So, Dad, turn off the camera. Nighty night. So we have a new fish as of right now, but more on that later. So one of the longest running canister filters that I have had, other than the Marine Land Magnum 350, is the Pitlab Cascade 1500, 1200, 500, and the 1000 model I've had for years. Currently I run two 1500 models and I have a 1200 model out in the shed in storage, and they've been good filters. The only issue with these is if your power goes out, this typically will leak. The seals wear out relatively fast. I have heard that Suns also do that, but I'm not sure the duration of time or how long that takes or what the case is. Basically talking canister filters. You guys comment below if you use canister filters. What kind of filters do you prefer on your African cichlid tanks? For me personally, you know that I am a sump guy, or most of you know that I use sumps, which we currently have a 30-gallon custom sump running with a filter sock for the 125, which is the tank that you just saw. But I do also use the Magnum 350, and I know you guys are going to say that's overkill and etc, etc. This is basically here to polish water, or the 1500 is there to polish water. This one is basically my chemical filtration, and this is my chemical and mechanical plus biological filtration. I did add some aragonite to help bring the pH up naturally, so I'm not buffering it all the time and fighting it. And so far it has helped. We won't really know until the long term. So if you look a few videos back, you'll remember me ripping this stand apart to install this sump versus the 20 long that we built a few years back. And it went well, everything is going well. I'm about to take all of this chemical filtration out of there because I don't really need it, to be honest. This tank will be replaced with the 150 that is covered outside with a tarp, and we need to reseal it soon. Any comments on that? Let me know down below. Again, what kind of filters do you use for your African cichlids? So as you can see, all I did for the 125 was cover it with a sheet. Now from a distance it doesn't look that bad, but I got to do something with it soon. I don't want to rebuild this stand because the 150, I do believe, is a little bit wider than that tank, so we're gonna have to build a new stand anyways. Again, more on that later. Most of you are familiar with the 75-gallon dirted Planet aquarium, and everyone is doing well. I have the trio of rubber lip placos in there, or the green phantom placo, whatever you want to call it. Now currently on this tank, I only run the Magnum 350, which we're cleaning it about every 60 days due to debris getting sucked into the intake pipe. Otherwise, this has been a solid filter. I have had to replace the motor once, which I got for like 20 bucks. Not a big deal. These are convertible. You switch it off, this pulls right off the base I love and hate the design of it because when you clean it, I mean, it's a full tear down. The gaskets have to be pulled and everything has to be taken apart and cleaned as far as the rubber gasket and all that, or you will have a leak. Otherwise, it is an amazing filter, and I think they're only like $100 now. And the pads themselves, you buy a 3-pack, they're like $4.99 or $5 on Amazon. So that's pretty cool as well. So we do have a pearl white Discus in the 29 gallon. And there's gonna be more on that later. I think I'm gonna do a 40 breeder. This tank is eventually coming down and we were gonna do just a Discus tank. All these guppies and everything I'm gonna move into the 75. But on this tank we use the Whisper 30 to 60 gallon hang on the back filter. And as you can see, these are stock mechanical filtration, biological, whatever you wanna call it. It does help with biological, but I run a sponge filter so I don't worry about that. Now I'll clean this one week and then the following week I will clean this one. Don't have to do anything to that because I don't run carbon or anything. On occasion I do run zeolite or ammo chips, whatever you want to call them. But this has been a great filter and it really moves the water and it's only turned up halfway. Especially now, I don't want too much current to stress the Discus out. Even though they will become accustomed to it, I've noticed he stays on the right side of the tank, which is away from any of the heavy current. So that's what I use on the 29 gallon. And it does the job. Beams Work Light is doing very well, I might add. And as for the 125, this is a newer version of the Pitlab's Cascade 1500 canister filter, which I got from a buddy that I cleaned. You might be familiar with the 400 at Martini Joe's bar. Thanks, Joe. We kind of swapped out because he upgraded to the famous and infamous FX6, which does filter his whole tank very well. Other than that, I don't really need this filter, it's just kind of extra, but notice I have a safety pan underneath. So when the power, in the event that a power is cut off to this and it backflows, it will leak out around the edges, and actually you can see right here where it's run down. And they're bad about this. This filter is only about a year and 2 months old, maybe, if that. So that tells you something about their quality control these days. I used to be a really big fan of these filters. I wouldn't buy one new. The main lifeline of this tank is the 75/80 gallon sump system that we built custom for this tank, which consists of the lava rock, filter floss chamber, bio balls down below to catch debris, planted refugium to remove ammonia and nitrogen, nitrates. Helps kind of lengthen the time between water changes, which we just did yesterday. I've been down with an abscessed tooth, not to get into too much detail. So this is the first time out of 3 days I've been able to actually shoot video and not feel like I was dying or something. Otherwise, that's my filtration in a nutshell. If you guys would like to know more details on how we run this sump with controllers for heat and return pump and all that, let me know and I will get some details on that for you. Otherwise, we're gonna say good morning to the American tank. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully you got a few insights on these filters. Let me know in the comments down below if you use Sun filters, or if you're strictly Fluval, an Eheim guy, or if you really do like the Pitlab's Cascade series like I did. I still use them. I didn't say I liked them much these days. Me personally, any tank over 100 gallons can really benefit from having a sump filter, but that's my opinion. Let me know yours down below, and I will see you guys next video. Peace.